Hey YouTube, Dawson Ryder here with my review of Zyuohger episode 46. I believe it's 46. I always forget the numbers because I am math. No, I'm not math. Anyway, so we are getting close to the end here, and this was honestly a pretty good episode. Like, it's probably the most I've enjoyed Zyuohger in quite a bit. Like, not like it's been bad the last few weeks, but because of, you know, my general apathy from the series, because it just kind of let me down, I haven't been quite as invested in the end game as I usually am during end game times. But this episode, I mean, I'm still not like quite as invested as I would be in a normal series where I'm like, you know, fully invested. The word invested is like the word of this review apparently. But I was quite engaged by this episode. I quite liked it. Little bits of, not really surprises-ish. Like, okay, so one of the things that started off the episode was about Yamato's dad, which we kind of knew was going to happen this week from the preview, and I just kind of assumed it would be like the classic, like, oh man, you know, don't take your family for granted while you have them, and then they patch things up, and like not much else to it. But it was kind of interesting because when Azald started attacking, Amu encouraged Yamato to go, you know, save him and make sure he was okay while the others fought. It's kind of a classic Saban Brands, like, Red Ranger situation. Who cares about the world? Your dad's in trouble. So like he saved him, and Bard showed up, and they had a terrible realization that Japanese people can't pronounce it bird. No, that's not what happened. But we found out that they know each other, and for a second I honestly thought it was going to be revealed that Yamato's dad was that guy that went to the Juman world and was like killed, and then maybe like he survived somehow, and but I don't know if the timeline would have worked for that, but because, you know, I pay attention. But regardless of whether the timeline would have worked for that or not, that actually would have been a really cool twist, I thought. But it didn't end up being that. What ended up happening is that, like, something he said 15 years ago, Bard was injured, and because he got attacked by some humans, and he just kind of thought, well man, humans and Jumans, they're all the worst. And then Yamato's dad happened upon him and saved him, and so that is what he was doing when Yamato's mother died. So we found out that he had a legit excuse. I like how, I mean, he's a doctor, so you could kind of assume if he was working, he was probably saving someone's life. Like, if he had found out he had, like, saved an old lady's life, would he have still hated him? Is it because it was Bard? I mean, there was the connection of, which was kind of neat, like, if his dad hadn't saved Bard, then Bard never would have saved him all those years ago, and also recently never would have became a Zyuohger and all that stuff. So that was actually kind of a neat twist on a storyline I was just kind of expecting to roll my eyes at and move on. And the fight scenes in this episode were also really pretty cool. Like the fight scenes between the other 4 or 5, I guess, with the world, while Yamato was off, were really neat. They discovered that when he's destroyed, there's like a core that reforms, and they kind of discovered, oh, we can take that out. And when Yamato showed up, they were just about to, and then Naria gave him those continues, so he got all big. But then they destroyed him, or the combination of the mecha actually, and then the core 4 Jumans went out and actually destroyed the core, which was actually really cool. It was a really neat scene to see them, like, just cinematically, like, jumping around, and like the score swelled up at it perfectly, and it was kind of cool. And it was just really funny the way, like, after they blew him up, Leo was like, here, and they were like, I'm just gonna take this, and he just takes the whale gun from Yamato. But it was a really cool scene, and because unless there was spoilers about it, I didn't expect him to die this soon. I honestly thought he would still be there for the final conflict unless he comes back. But it was just a really neat little wrap up to that Azald storyline. And then after that, Genus kind of decided that he wants to have one final game before they leave Earth, which obviously means the final battle with him. So there's that. But yeah, overall, it was a pretty good episode. Like I said, I actually liked the stuff with Yamato's dad. It was more interesting than I thought. The fight scenes were really good. Lots of cool action there. A good wrap-up to that storyline. And now we're going to see Genus get off his ass for the second time in the entire series, just in time for the finale. So that'll be a thing. But yeah, overall, solid episode. I liked it quite a bit. I'd probably give it a 7.5. A good ending for Zyuohger. Hopefully the last 1, 2, I don't remember how it is, are just as good or better. But anyway, that's about it. Until next time, make sure you have the Crazy Podcast at writersrangerambles.com. And of course, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Till next time, Dawson Ryder, signing out.